clutch, especially for this man right here, Jalen Brunson. 3 here, Knicks up by 19. And Brunson, just get a little bunny to go, lays it in. Massive lead by New York, and they never look back. Brunson lobs it up to Robinson for the jam. What the vision right there. This game, collect the posters from this one right here. 8 minutes to play, Knicks up 16. Brunson drives, gets the deuce and the damage. Brunson's playing physical. And you know who loves it? Carmelo Anthony. He's been in that building before. Now Brunson drains the 3. This man loving what he's doing here. Knicks go on to win 126-97. Brunson had 39 and 8 in the Game 5 win.
I think we started the game with the right mindset. They had a couple runs, but we were able to stop them early instead of getting them all the way down to single digits. The one thing about them, they're going to continue to fight no matter what. So we just got to be prepared next game.
And even when the Hawks were fighting, you still hold them to under 100 points, 2 games in a row. No easy feat in today's NBA. What do you think about your defense?
We were tied together. We were on the string, and then we had everyone's back. When something happened, something fell apart, we were there for each other. Just way to step up for each other.
And then on offense, you were over here dancing the step throughs. You had 17 points in the fourth quarter. What were you seeing during that stretch?
I don't know. I'm just happy to see the ball going.
How do you close it out in Game 6?
The right mindset. Now this is over with. We won. It's 3-2 now. As soon as we get back there, we got to flush and be prepared for Game 6.
Iman Shumpert joins the show now. Shump, the Knicks have shown their teeth the last couple of games. What was the difference in this one tonight?
Yeah, I think that tonight the Hawks got a chance to see what happens when you put paper or plastic over the flame side of a Brunson burner. Now, what's going on out there was Brunson he didn't have the best shooting night. I'm not going to say he had the best shooting night because he didn't shoot it well from 3. But when he did consider the fact that all these other games he was having trouble just scoring the ball, period, I think he saw a window and said, I will be aggressive and step on the gas tonight. Since you want the matchup, I will make sure to give it to you. Historically, he has proven that in closing games and the end of series is when his eyes light up for the lights. And tonight he proved that.
Right, and you mentioned his eyes lighting up. Brunson has an average of 6+ points per game more in the postseason than he does in regular season games. What is it about a player that just activates to that extent in the postseason?
Well, the special thing that happens in the playoffs is it can birth a superstar, and it calls for a superstar to step into these moments. I think that he's gotten comfortable in these moments to understand that at the end of the game, especially if it's close, which is why you always see in the fourth quarter it lights up for him. When you see that it's close or you smell blood, I think that all superstars kind of know what buckets need to happen and what things need to happen on the defensive end, because they also defended the hell out of C.J. McCollum and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which I know that has to do with the head of the snake with Brunson and with the coach saying that the game plan is this tonight. And for them to follow that and go along with that is what was special tonight.
Knicks take Game 5 in a 3-2 series lead. Iman Shumpert, thanks so much for the insight.
We're now joined by CBS Sports NBA analyst John Gonzalez. And, well, John, the series came back to the Garden. It was tied at 2. There was pressure on the Knicks to just reestablish some control here in this series. When you look at Cat just picking up from where he left off last game, Jalen Brunson with 39 points in this game. You look at the Knicks, they're shooting, just over 57% from the field in this game in the way that they control the paint. What out of all these things, or if it's something else, stood out to you as the biggest difference maker in how New York just controlled this game?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, you called out Karl Anthony Towns and them controlling the paint. They dominated in the paint. They dominated on the boards between Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. The Hawks had no chance on the glass, and that's not really their game anyway, because Onyeka Okongwu is a great player, but he's not a traditional center, and those guys are just big bodies, so they were eating all night long on the boards. And then Jalen Brunson, he's been sort of hit or miss this series. I know when you look at his counting stats, you think, well, that doesn't make any sense, but he just hadn't been very efficient. This was by far and away his best game of the series. He goes for 39 points, super efficient from the floor. He had the defenders for the Hawks, he was dancing all over them. They didn't know which way he was going. He left Dyson Daniels in the dust in the fourth quarter, and the crowd went, ooh. He played great. OG Anunoby has had a phenomenal series, probably their most consistent player at both ends of the floor. And then again, the shooting, the Knicks were so efficient from the floor, from 3-point range, 42% from deep, just too much offense for the Hawks to handle. And then the Knicks defense, that I think is the real key, because it had been a little suspect at times during the regular season. Even though it was top 10, I wanted to see what it would look like in the playoffs. They hold the Hawks to 97 points tonight. Just a total team effort. Great at both ends of the floor. If you're the Knicks, you're feeling really good right now.
I just want to highlight a little bit more of OG Anunoby's night. He did finish with a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds. He had 7 rebounds, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the first quarter alone. But like you said, getting business done on both ends of the floor. But let's go back to Atlanta, because CJ McCollum, he's been Atlanta's hero, especially when we're looking at games 2 and 3. But this time around, finished with just 6 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Was this the Knicks defense maybe finally solving the McCollum problem, or did he just maybe not have the legs in this game?
Yeah, a little bit of A, a little bit of B, just 6 points. It's not going to get it done, right? I mean, you're held to 97 points. That's not a good offensive output. I mean, I'm looking, CJ McCollum, they do need more offense from him, but this is sort of also like found money with CJ McCollum, because he was given away as an expiring contract as part of that Trae Young deal. And the Hawks hit on him and then threw him into the starting lineup, and he was playing great. So it's like whatever you can get out of CJ McCollum is kind of a bonus. I'm looking at Jalen Johnson, where he has a double-double and 6 assists. That looks great on paper, except for he's 1 of 5 from deep, and he scores 18 points, which is just 1 more than Dyson Daniels. They need more offense out of Jalen Johnson. He's an all-star. He's going to make all NBA. This is the NBA playoffs. You're playing the Knicks. Do you want to get out of the first round or not? You need to really raise your level. It's been a phenomenal season for him, but they need him to score the ball more. And especially the rest of the Hawks need to shoot better from deep. We talked about this pregame. Players not named Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Onyeka Okongwu came into tonight shooting 26% from deep. They were marginally better. They were 31% from deep tonight. Onyeka Okongwu, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, they knocked down their threes. Everybody else did not. So unless that changes going back to Atlanta, and they've been better playing in Atlanta, save for this last game, game 4, they weren't great. But the other games, they played better at home. So they really need to step it up, especially from beyond the arc, going into game 6 in Atlanta.
I can only just imagine what the practice is going to look like for the Hawks. A lot of 3-point shooting, just working on that and as they look ahead. But let's talk about what lies ahead, because the Knicks now heading back to Atlanta with a 3-2 lead. So, John, what travels better in game 6? Is it New York's size and the control we saw from Brunson, or is it Atlanta's desperation at home?
Yeah, the Knicks have a lot going for them right now, right? I mean, Jalen Brunson looked phenomenal, played his best game of the series tonight. Karl Anthony Towns has had a pretty good series overall, and especially in these last 2 games where he's just been much more efficient and put together. Earlier in the series, it was like kind of you get a half out of him. Now you're getting full games out of him. As I mentioned, OG Anunoby has been, I think, their best and most consistent player at both ends of the floor the entire series. I'm a little worried about Mikal Bridges. He played 19 minutes in the last game, 27 minutes tonight, just 3 of 6 from the floor. He looks like a little worried about his shot. Maybe he's in his head a little bit about his confidence, but overall, if you're the Knicks, you're feeling good about it. And also, as we all know, Knicks fans travel, right? The last game in Atlanta, Reggie Miller had estimated that it was 60-40 Knicks fans there. You don't love that. But the desperation thing does come into play, right? Before this series started, I thought that these 2 teams were super evenly matched, and I had this series going 7. So just on that alone, it's kind of like, all right, it's a do or die time for the Hawks. That can raise your level and get the best out of a team. I think that they're going to pull it off in Atlanta by hook or crook, and we go back to New York for game 7.
Oh, making things real interesting. A win or go home situation, game 7, but got to take care of business first. I'm talking about the Hawks in game 6, and like I mentioned, working on those 3-point shots. John Gonzalez, as always, appreciate you, my friend. We'll take a look at the Knicks' largest playoff wins since, 26 years ago. 29 points in their win against the Hawks. That's the 3rd most since then. If you look back, the last 2 years having major wins over the Pacers and the Celtics, they'll look to keep things rolling in game 6.